Um, hey guys, it's good to see you. Merry Christmas.
Hey Matthew, Merry Christmas.
We just wanted to say from everyone at Grace Fellowship how much we love you and miss you, and look forward to hearing all that God has been doing, with you.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're happy to share, and we certainly miss all you guys immensely.
Yes.
Very much. We're being videoed. Thank you so much. Well, we got 28 seconds.
That's all right. It's all good. I can trim a little bit too if we need to.
Say hi. Hi.
Don't go. We're being filmed. Okay. We'll take care of your jewelry later, son.
Ethan. Okay.
All right. Well, we just wanted to kind of see all that has been going on. Just the few months that you've been down there, and so I guess to start off with, how have you been adjusting as a family? How have you been adjusting to the culture, to adding Pablo, to the kids being in school, just kind of all the aspects that go into moving your family to another country, I guess.
It would be one giant adjustment.
Yes.
I don't know if any of you guys read our blog the very second day I think we were here, but on day one, at the end of the day, half the kids are like, I want to go home, and we hadn't even slept here one night yet. So, right out of the gate, it was very difficult and traumatic, and, we got up at 3 that morning, so the lack of sleep and all that, and it's just been one, more or less, big change every day since then.
I think once we got settled in our home and had rooms and we got our stuff, that helped a lot. And the kids have been able to make friends in the neighborhood, so that was good, just to feel like they belonged someplace. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then trying to homeschool all the kids was very difficult, to say the least. And so the blessing of them being able to go to school has been great. And then, they've been able to make friends. And it's just it's a little community that we've been able to get plugged into. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were unable to homeschool the 4 older kids well and herd the cats, or the 10 to the 3 younger boys, who were all within 18 months of each other. And so we could educate well and not know where our 3 6-year-olds were, which is never good, or keep track of them and entertain them, and have our older kids be illiterate. So we applied to and were accepted into CAG, the Christian Academy of Guatemala, and it's really neat because when we applied, the night before they had their quarterly school meeting, and they had indicated that they needed to get more missionary kids, because their initial charter said that they have to have 2/3 of the kids need to be missionary kids, because it was started for missionaries. So therefore, God had us providentially apply the day of the meeting, and then the next day we found out about that meeting, and we still had to qualify, but it was neat how they had this need that they needed to fill. We were able to meet their need, but they met ours at the same time.
Yeah,
so we thank God for that, for sure.
It's very cool.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So, and Pablo has done remarkably well. He, he fits right in. He's loud and he's crazy, and so he fits with our boys. And he's, responding to us teaching him and disciplining him just like any normal kid would. It's interesting. Just the other night, we started talking about Casa and asking him questions, and he was very excited to share with us. But I think he was also excited when we said, we're glad that you're here, though, and that there's no más Casa, Alleluia. And he just had a big smile on his face. So it's very cool.
He says that not every day, but very regularly. No más casa, see? No más casa. Correct. No más casa. You're in our family now. So he the sin nature is in Guatemalans too. So, we certainly have our challenges with him. He's never been around a family or parents. You don't really have to submit to authority when you're in a big group. I mean, as long as you stand in the line like you're supposed to, and you stand out less than the other guy, then you're cool. No one ever deals with your heart. So we're having to, start probing there, and the whole language thing.
That makes it hard.
Yeah, I tried to give him the gospel, not just you need to obey, but the other day, and I, just butchered it. But, hey, we're laying the groundwork, and Maybe
That's
I told him you got to work your way to heaven. I'm not sure. No, I know I didn't say that. But, you know, every day is a step, and we've definitely seen improvements in him, for sure, in how he submits, and he doesn't check out. He'll sometimes just go to another place. He won't leave the room, but you see it in his eyes, and he just checks out. He's gone. But when he does that, he comes back a lot more quickly than he did the first few weeks. You know, he's been with us for, since the 10th or 12th of October, so he's been with us 60 days now.
Yeah. So it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, how's it been adjusting to the language? Have you been able to pick up some things or learn more about the language and the culture?
Yeah. Estudié español 5 semanas, but that's all I'm going to give you because I'm way too nervous to do it on film. It's certainly easier than English, but man, it's just stinking hard.
It is.
They have different tenses. They have 2 ways to speak about the past tense. We don't. You have to think about what you're saying in the past and then choose the correct tense. And it's just it's difficult, and I want to learn it now, you know, and I haven't learned it now, so I get frustrated. But I've been in school 5 weeks. I'm taking a few weeks off now, and then Barb did a week. The older 4 did a week, and then they also get it 2 1-hour classes a week, so not a lot.
I think the older kids get more, but and I understand a lot. I just can't get it out. So
I have that problem too. That's what I've noticed as I've gone on different trips. Is
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I have no idea how to respond to you.
exactly.
Yeah, you just feel the pressure, and then you double clutch, and you freeze, and just feel like a loser. You know, you can do it, but the pressure, and it's almost like public speaking, sort of, you know, where just over time you can learn, you can understand them better when they speak quickly, because they sounds like they're in a race, but so do we.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I guess lastly, just what ministry opportunities have you had? You know, what have you been able to do and plug into, or what are you looking forward to or working towards, or, you know, what's kind of going on in that aspect of your life?
Well, we kind of see it in 2 fronts. First of all, the clubhouse front, you know, our employer, so to speak, you know, the guys that we came down here to partner with, and we could not have come down at a better time.
It's been
because
perfect.
nothing has been going on. There was a team here the very first week, literally, we were here, and so we hung with them 1 or 2 days, and then since then, there's been 1 or 2 like half-day things to a couple of the pueblos that we work in, but that's been it. And so it's allowed us to get, you know, connected in our neighborhood and just get everything set up and just get used to being, you know, Americans living in Guatemala.
Right.
So there hasn't been a lot on that front. But on the other front, you know, we're getting connected and plugged in at our local church, the Union Church of Guatemala, which is down in Zone 9 in the city. So without traffic, 20 minutes from here. So on Sundays, it's nice. And so I've had the opportunity to meet with the pastor who is new there, and well, for 9 months, and just talk with him and indicate our desire to want to help. There's definitely areas that could use some help, you know, to put it nicely. He preaches well, and he loves the Lord, but they need I would love to see them, we would love to see them become much more focused on God and His greatness, and particularly in the children's student ministry, it's a little bit more filling time until the parents get out of class.
I will be stepping in that ministry, hopefully by in the new year. I said I would help out, and so now I've already been included in the staff meeting coming up Sunday.
And it sounds like I know for a fact you can't roll in them and you can't roll in there and teach them that Jesus isn't God. They're going to kick you out the door on that, but we can roll in there with whatever we want.
Pretty
so
much.
We're going to bring in some CDG, Children Desiring God and stuff. Not sure which one, and implement that and use that in her class. And then I think I'm going to try to volunteer to teach the adults. They just have 1 adult class, and the guy indicated last week that we're wrapping up. And any thoughts or ideas or volunteers that want to teach, it's kind of more like
It's a very transient.
take your turn, so to speak. So I thought I might try to get something very focused on God and treasuring Him, because I think sometimes I sort of sense that maybe the missionaries down here might get a little more caught up in the job, just doing what they're doing. Ministry, everyone uses that word. It's used down here all the time. What's your ministry? What we're doing ministry today. And that's cool. I mean, our whole life as Christians is ministry, but to remember that we're doing it in service to this King that we should treasure and savor, and not sometimes not see the forest for the trees. So that's what I would like to try to do if I can teach something to the adults.
And as far as Clubhouse goes, this coming week, we're going to be getting the missionary house ready, because on the 26th, we have a team coming down to put together backpacks for the village kids. And then the Parkers get in on the 27th.
They've been gone the entire time we've been here, back home doing their,
pretty much,
hopefully their last big tour of, well, the eastern third of America. They have been everywhere for 90 to 100 days raising funds.
And so that'll be fun, you know, getting into the villages. The Guatemalan school calendar starts in January, so kids will be going back to school, and so we're supplying school supplies, and that should be a lot of fun. So it'll be our first big introduction to teams and working with everybody. I'm excited.
And we're also, Mike has asked me to price, and we're going to start using in those towns for their Bible study, the after-school Bible studies program, Children's There in God curriculum there as well. So he's been very receptive to some of the suggestions we put out. And we're grateful for that, because I think it's really good God-centered things. And then I would like to try to, I haven't talked to him about this or anything yet, but try to maybe start to meet with some of the men who are responsible for those particular communities, and maybe spend some time with them, so they can make sure that their people, I don't know if they're pastors or what they are, you know, just village leaders, you know, I don't know. But figure out who the spiritual guys are in these communities. I'm sure each of them has one or two guys that are followers of the Lord. And then see how we might be able to grow those guys so they can then invest in their people.
Well, that's cool. Well, if there's maybe one or two things that we could pray for, maybe for your family or for your ministry, well, looking ahead to this time, what would those be?
Well, I mean, first is figuring out how we're going to integrate when we start doing all the stuff with the teams in our life, because right now it's just our life. We don't have that part of it, and we're going to be adding it to it. And you know, how much am I going to be gone? I don't really know. You know, how much can they go? I mean, she can't, because she's got kids to take to school and pick up from every day. Just figure out how that's going to work. The next
the balance, step. And also there will be new missionary families coming to join the ministry. So integrating them and just working together as a team. I think this is the first Clubhouse has always been Mike and Carla. Yeah. So this will be a big adjustment for them too.
Yeah, we joined them in October. A young man named, well, he's 28, 29, Peter Odulana. He's a Nigerian-American dual citizen. He's a really great guy, stud with the kids, but he's been with them 2 weeks longer than us. And then this new family's coming down, Lord willing, January 1st week from Oklahoma, Joey and Cece, I forget their last name. And then another family, I haven't met them, so I don't remember the names I've seen on email. They're coming down, I think, in March or April. So it's going from, you know, one family to 4 or 5 in a matter of 7 months. So it's getting really big quickly. Yeah. So praying for that, and then just us, you know, being good parents, trying to really shepherd our kids' hearts and point them to the hopelessness they have in themselves and the hope that they can have in Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's good for us to serve. We also don't want them to get lost in the process, and because we will always be a family.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's been great catching up with you guys. Yeah, we just want to say again, we miss you, we love you, we're excited for what God's doing, and hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to y'all.
You know, one last thing is people always say, what do you miss about home? And I think I can speak for our families that we miss Grace Fellowship, who is our spiritual family. And, you know, I'm fortunate that, well, all of my biological family is in there. Hers isn't, but we miss you guys terribly. I mean, we're happy we're here, but, you know.
Making me cry.
Yeah,
I miss y'all.
I'm not crying. That happened back in October. Never again. So come and visit, though. We have 5 guest beds in our home. So we'd love for visitors to come, whether you're coming with the team or just want to hang with us.
Love to have an Angela.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right.